We carry on with another keynote speech. This time, not one, but
Okay,
two.
look at them. They can
Two.
just hop
Two
in our
presenters.
place.
Yeah. They can change us in the afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, clap your hands for our dear guest, Mr. Kosik Twardowska from Nedap Security Management, who will be joining us with the next session, named officially, Martina.
How secure is your access control system, cybersecurity in physical security systems?
Ooh, how secure is
The
your
stage is
security?
yours.
Well, good one.
We'll try to
Welcome.
explain.
Welcome and enjoy. See you later.
Good afternoon, everyone. The main topic of our presentation is cybersecurity. But before we begin, we would like to introduce ourselves, as this is our first time at Adria Security Summit. We are very happy to be part of this event. And yes, we both work at Nedap as salespeople, responsible for security systems. On a daily basis, we work from our office in Warsaw, but we support all our customers and partners in Central and Eastern Europe.
Some of you probably heard about Nedap, but some of you see us first time. So let me give you a short overview of who Nedap is. So in simple words, we are just a security vendor focusing on access control, but not only, with almost 900 people listed on Dutch stock exchange with offices all over the Europe. But what we would like to especially emphasize is the fact that we invest 18% of our revenue year over the year, and it helps us provide the innovative products for our customers. And we believe that this 18% in R&D in security sectors is quite unique.
Talking about security, we are an established player, but with young mentality, very international, with customers in 83 countries. We are especially visible in critical infrastructure, airport, finance, and production sectors.
But coming back to the main topic, how secure your access control system is. First of all, we should ask ourselves why nowadays cyber hygiene is so important. So we all should be aware that the door controller is nothing else as a small PC. Has CPU, memory, flash disk, Ethernet, and operating systems. So it means that should be protected in the same way as we protect IT systems. But we all know that not always is the case.
Yes, let's talk about the weakest link. Like we all know, the weakest point are people. But from technology perspective, what we very often observe is that companies invest huge money and resources in security systems. However, even the big investments not guarantee the success if we have a security gap in the system. And from access control perspective, this weak point very often is standard of cards used.
So when we start discussion about cards, unfortunately, we have to start with 125 kilohertz. And why unfortunately? Because it's extremely easy to copy this card. This simple card just use card serial number, which is kept in memory. And we can copy this CSN number from card A to card B. How easy we can do so? We just need a simple device which you can see on the picture, and we have to understand how works two important functions: copy and paste, or read and write. And we don't need any computer, we just need a device which costs probably less than €10.
Next technology, MyFair. Still very popular is MyFair Classic. The first reports regarding their cloning procedure date back to 2007, but still it's popular. And the cloning procedure can take place without the cardholder's knowledge. Thanks to device which is called Proxmark, we can copy but also emulate the card. And here we need a little bit more knowledge than in case which Greg mentioned, but still it's very easy process.
That's why when we talk with our customers about the right standard, the recommendation of the standard for the cards, we very often recommend MyFair Fire. And of course, because it's secure, because it's not hacked, but also because it gives additional functionality to end customers. And one of such functionality is fact that customer can own the encryption key. So in practice, it means that it's completely independent from the access control vendor or from the reader vendor or from system integrator, because it's able to upload the encryption key to the card and to the reader, so can change the system whenever he wants. And cards are important for sure, but we also pay attention for the communication between the reader and between the door controller. Why? Because even we have encrypted card, we all should be aware that the decryption process is on the reader side. So from the reader to the door controller, if we use Vigant, there will be a plain text. So again, thanks to a small device which is called BLE key or Wi-Fi key, we can just sniff the communication from the card reader to the door controller, copy this number and send over the Wi-Fi or over to Bluetooth to the smartphone, repeat this number, send to the door controller, and just open the door. How easy we can do so? Short video which explain how to connect such BLE or Wi-Fi key to the card reader. And very often when we show this video to our customers or to our partners, they say, well, that's true, but we have tamper detection, we have video camera which is close. Yes, indeed, in ideal world. But we know many installations, also from the critical infrastructure, where tamper detection was not connected or was not configured. So there will be any alarm in a security center.
As a summary, we should have an encryption on each level communication where we exchange data. And so from application to server, from server to database with TLS 1.3, from server to door controller, and from door controller to reader. And at the end, of course, secure card technology. Yes, but mostly when we observe in some companies which are using access control, we have standard configuration. What does it mean? It's a situation when we have card keys stored in the reader, and that reader can be installed on outside of the door, on outside of the building. And it is a potential risk that those data on the reader can be compromised, and cyber criminals can use it and gain unwanted access to our site. That's why, yes, nowadays we recommended transparent mode. It means to move card data from the reader to the controller, and controller we have inside the building. It means that readers play no role in the decrypting data. They become transparent, and hackers, even if they connected remotely, can't extract data. Even if they remove the reader from the wall, they will find no information inside.
One more good practice, the standard which is called 802.1x, very commonly used in video and in IT infrastructure, not so well known in access control. How it works is an additional layer of the security, which works on the network layer. So it means that we will not connect the door controller to the network if we will not receive the dedicated digital certificate for this specific device. So in practice, it means that we will not exchange, we will not replace broken door controller, or we will not connect completely new controller to the system if IT department or dedicated department will not certify this specific device.
We are all familiar with two-factor authentication because we use it in our daily life. For example, when we log into our bank account. And with two-factor authentication, IT security of access control system further increased. And in practice, we can use, for example, Okta or Microsoft Authenticator to confirm our identity and log in to the access control system.
And last but not least, regular updates. And regular updates not only of access control, but of operating system, of databases as well. And yes, we know that it's not so easy. We also heard today about a lot of integrations which you usually have in our physical security systems. Usually access control is integrated with video, with intrusion, with third-party readers, and ERP systems because we want to exchange HR data between access control and such systems. However, there is no another choice than regular updates if we want to just be secure.
There is no question that cybersecurity is a good practice, but we should be aware that in the newest features, new regulations will come from European Union. New regulations which will affect security systems, including access control.
And the main regulation which we are referring to is NIS2. What it is, why it was introduced by EU and how they understand the new directive. So the main reason was fact that even till now, the particular member of EU decides which sector, which market is critical infrastructure and which is not. So in practice, in country A, we can have some sector which is not critical infrastructure, could be hacked, could have some cyber issue and can potentially influence on another members in EU. And EU just wanted to unify the whole procedures to the critical infrastructure. That's why they categorized the sectors for two types: the key entities, where we have energy sector, where we have transportation, telecommunication, finance, and all public services, and also for important sectors as food production, as waste management, as water production as well.
Whether and how NIS2 affects in access control system. Well, here we have a few areas. For sure, reporting all incidents. Next one, the high availability architecture is very important. In our case, it will be access control server and full encryption, what we exactly discussed a few slides back, and the same with two-factor authentication.
Just to be more precise, we took a few examples directly from the directive, and the first one, point 30, where is a clear message that NIS2 is not anymore for IT infrastructure and IT sector. There is a clear relation to physical security as well.
Next one, 52 point, where is information about open standard. And a great example from access control area is MyFair, well-known open standard for card encryption, where user can create your unique card key and store it in safe place inside the company. And it means that later, if they want to add new cards to the system, no sensitive data not leave the company.
And the final one, point 98, where is also very clear information that EU will pay attention to the encryption, full encryption. They even call it end-to-end encryption. So we mentioned a few slides back about Vigant. So if you are, or if the customer is one from the key entity or from the important entity, and they would like to comply with the new regulations, definitely they have to exchange Vigant to more secure protocol, as for example OSDP version 2 is. Otherwise,
Yes, as always, if we have some regulations, usually we have some penalties. And with NIS2 is the same story. For key entities, it can be even 10 million euros or 2% of total annual revenue. And here we talk about entire organization. It means that if we have some accident in particular country, penalty can be counted for total revenue whole organization.
so we know why EU introduced a new directive. We know what we have to adjust, what we have to change in our system. We know the penalties, which are quite high. So now the final moment for the dates, and the new regulation goes into effect on 18th of October 2024. So we have almost a year for implementing and adjusting our current system.
Yes, and NIS2 for sure is a hot topic, but in parallel we have some European standards for physical security systems as we as Nedap follow. And for sure it's EN 6839. And here we have the highest grade 4 for access control. And what is worth to emphasize, we have certificate from external institution to prove it, not only statement of our company. We have also grade 3 in intrusion based on 5139. 31, and those standards are very popular, and we meet that requirements very often in public tender, especially from critical infrastructure.
So thank you very much, and from that place we would like to invite all of you to our booth, which is in 66, am I right?
67 in hall 2.
And it would be nice to continue the discussion about security in access control or cyber aspects, which we already discussed. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your attention.